All right. All right. We back. Do me a favor. Have. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. There we go. To those that are a fan of the person that I'm speaking about, and you don't like my comments or what I say about it or my point of view on it, do me a favor. I don't mind you leaving comments on the live, but make it respectable. And if you cannot do that, then please excuse yourself. Have the maturity level. Be mature enough to remove yourself from the live, okay? But let's not do that, all right? I work hard. Trust me, there's a lot more that I want to say that isn't TikTok friendly. But I don't do that. So I'm asking that you do the same thing in the comment, so we don't get uh, shut down like we did a few seconds ago. So, like I was saying, even when you hold that position, you gotta be able to handle the high pressure questions from females, from males. It doesn't matter. But with him, he always has this attitude towards women reporters when they ask him a question that he doesn't like, and then he wants to talk down on them or belittle them. But all the while, when it comes to men like Arnold Palmer, you want to talk about his slong size. You want to talk about his manhood. Like that doesn't make us look strong as a country. He doesn't represent what our country stand for. But without further ado, let's go into the first segment, because apparently last night or yesterday sometime, uh, he made a post on his last social. And thank you for you're welcome. I appreciate that, Chrissy. So listen, sorry for the interruption. I don't know. Somebody left a comment. The platform didn't like it. But of course, whenever I talk about this guy, his minions come out of the woodworks and not like it. But I don't care, because hashtag I'm gonna say it. Now, as he was posting away on his live social platform that he has, he called out three women: AOC, uh, Jasmine Crockett, and it was another one that he called out. And so this made Jasmine Crockett respond to whatever his comments or statements was that he made during his rant, right? No, it wasn't. It wasn't Joey and Chrissy. No, it was mine. Uh, somebody left a comment about a political party, and the platform didn't like it. And that's why I was saying, like, just if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's fine. But just keep the response or your comments TikTok friendly, language friendly. You see what I'm saying? That's all. But you know, yeah, we love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. Exactly. We do. We love TikTok shop. But you expect that from his base. But we're gonna listen to how it all played out a little bit. Not the whole thing, but just from Jasmine Crockett's response. And unfortunately, Cheetolini's wife caught astray because Jasmine Crockett speaks on her. And I haven't seen it all, so I don't know what all was said. But um, and even taking her, if you pay attention, she be looking as if she doesn't even want to be next to him or like him for that matter. But I tell you what, though, I tell you this though, if there's anything as far as respect I can give to Melania, is that she's played her part. She's loyal. She plays her part for all these years. Let's go.
Representative Jasmine Crockett just straight up exposed Melania Trump during today's House hearing, and something about the way Representative Crockett delivers her punches really just appeals to me. It's got a level of edge that most other Democrats don't have. Zohran is the same way. He's able to deliver a punch in a really satisfying way. So today, Representative Jasmine Crockett participated in another House hearing, and this one focused on restoring integrity in the visa process. Now, obviously, only one party is making a good faith effort to restore the visa process, to streamline the immigration process as a whole, and that's the Democrats. Republicans would revoke visas en masse if they could.
Right,
oh wait,
Chrissy.
Trump
She
already
says
did that
Melania's
to
not
every
happy
single
in her
student
marriage, and
going
it
to
shows-
Harvard
it
on a
shows
visa.
a
They don't
lot.
want to streamline it. They don't care
Exactly.
about streamlining it. So Representative Jasmine Crockett very astutely calls out Melania Trump and calls out the extraordinary hypocrisy that exists within the Republican Party today. Okay, before I play this clip, let's just start from the beginning. This morning, Donald Trump attacked not only Zohran Mamdani, but Jasmine Crockett. Yesterday, Trump sent out this long post attacking Jasmine Crockett, Ilhan Omar, and AOC. And it's like, that's got to be sexist, bro. It's got to be racist, too. Like, when you're attacking
We
three...
love TikTok Shop.
5 things
Hold on,
people
it's a
love
commercial.
about Look Optic.
in the party in one post and nobody else. Come on, dude, you're the president of the United States. And that's what Jasmine Crockett points out. Trump said, I have an idea for the Democrats to bring them back into play. After years of being left out in the cold, how about they have a presidential election with low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett? That's got to be racist. Her as president. AOC should be vice president. Zohran Mamdani can be a cabinet member, is what he's saying. So, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett says, thanks for your vote of confidence, I guess. Unlike you, I'd actually be focused on the American people, the issues they're facing, making sure they have health care, and consulting with Congress before dropping bombs on another
John.
country. Once again, you've got very
Let
big problems to
me
deal
invite
with, and
you-
somehow you're still focused on me. Trump is currently trying to put out like
To
multiple 5-alarm fires
block
right now
party.
in the form of a war in the Middle East. He hasn't cut any deals on tariffs, 0 deals. His big
Don't worry
ugly
about him,
bill
Chrissy.
domestically is struggling.
We got
He
rid-
has
he- we took him to the block party.
5-alarm fires to put out, and he can't focus on a single one. Here's Jasmine Crockett calling out Melania Trump.
In this country. And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the first lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, well, it's just
level,
a-
applied
it's-
for and was given an
them
EB1
trollers, them
visa.
bots, and
what
that try to
that
get your,
stands for is an Einstein visa.
They do all they
now,
can to get it.
Y'all that
The
don't
platform
know,
flag.
let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here.
It does not take a genius to see the math ain't mathin'. Honestly, if anything, Melania has the extraordinary skill of putting up with Donald Trump over the
We were
past
just talking
2
about
or
that,
so
Chris.
decades. But no, that gets to the core of Republican hypocrisy. They don't care about anybody. They have no empathy for anybody. They want to make life harder for people until it affects them. When it comes to Melania, that's a special case. She can get an Einstein visa despite having 0 actual achievements. When it comes to, abortion, I have friends
Oh, we
who
love
have been
TikTok Shop.
pro-life their entire life, or anti-choice. Then they enter college, have a little bit of a scare, and all of a sudden they're very pro-choice. They don't care until it affects them. Here we have Jasmine Crockett continuing to expose the lies.
All of this talk about lowering costs and reducing waste is absolute BS.
This is from yesterday where she exposes Elon.
Their agenda is about one thing, making the federal government so weak that they can exploit it for their personal gain. They're stealing your data to help their companies. They're taking away your health care and food assistance to fund tax cuts for billionaires. Their agenda is pro-disinformation, pro-obstruction, pro-greed, and pro-exploitation. If you didn't know, that's what Doge actually spells out. D, disinformation, O, obstruction, G, greed, and E, exploitation. And congressional Republicans have been complicit in this agenda. They've helped this administration terrorize the public. They've allowed this administration to launch the country into a war without congressional approval. And while we're talking about saving money,
Yep.
let me tell you, just dropping those few bombs in one day, that was
We
the
love TikTok
beginning
Shop.
of what is going to be a very long bill for us as they talk about being efficient. There was nothing efficient about doing it. And maybe if there was some consultation, maybe with those that say have constitutional authority, since we care about the Constitution, then maybe we could have saved the American people not only money, but the lives that are now at risk as we have to put out warnings for American citizens in this country and abroad. Maybe we need to start leading with the people at the middle of what it is that is guiding us instead of following one person. The reason that people like me say things like y'all are in a cult is because somehow people are abdicating their duties and abdicating the very people that put them into office. But I got 30 seconds. They've allowed this administration to
Yes, Chrissy, me
steal
too. She tells it like it
congressionally
is,
approved
right?
Money for cancer research and food delivery to vulnerable communities.
Chrissy says,
They've
I
allowed
love me
Elon
some
Musk to
Representative
infiltrate
Jasmine.
your medical
Nothing
records
sexier
and
than
banking
an
data. They've
educated
allowed
woman.
this administration to ignore
Facts.
court rulings, and now Republicans are here patting themselves on the back, literally arguing to make this chaos permanent. So Americans are going to continue to live through chaos and destruction that has been occurring ever since he swore in January. And I hope y'all remember who caused this, because it wasn't
The
just
gentlelady's time has
it was
expired.
Also the congressional
And then her.
Republicans.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's smug ass didn't want to let Jasmine Crockett cook, but a few things. First of all, you get what I mean when I say that she's uniquely easy to listen to. Just very, very
Yes.
sharp. It's very, very concise.
Facts.
And it's not boring like a lot of Democrats are. But
Facts.
to bring this home, I just want to say that this Melania Trump example is a perfect microcosm of the way Republicans view immigration and other things. I already pointed out that Republicans just don't really care until it personally affects them. That's something I've seen across multiple issues. But even beyond that, I went to, I don't know,
She
50
so
different
does,
Trump
Chrissy.
rallies
Chrissy says
leading into the
MTG
election,
needs
the
to go kick
2024
rocks.
election.
She need to
And every
kick
single time I
boulders,
was
man.
talking
Like, I'm
to
ready for her to be,
supporters, they would
like,
say
for
something to the
real.
effect of, we only
We
want
don't
to
need
kick
her
out the
no more.
criminals. We don't really care if
I don't
you're
even
here
like the
illegally, you're
fact
still
that we share the
contributing. We
same
just want the
state.
criminals gone, is what they would say. Right? Like illegal immigrants who committed crimes, that's what they want the Trump admin to target. But once Trump gets into office, he begins to strip visas away from Harvard students, people who want to be doctors. He begins to surgically target people going to their court dates. We have raids at nail salons, car washes,
Facts.
work sites, places where people are just trying to make a living. And that's way different than
Hey, good
just
morning,
targeting
Jess. How you
people who
doing,
have committed
Bessie?
crimes, as Republicans told me leading into the
Chrissy,
election.
she irritates
so
me,
when
too.
Jasmine Crockett
I
is
mean,
pointing
I
out that
just-
Melania Trump gets a free pass from Republicans to come over here because she's Republican, but any other person who is even vaguely brown who comes over here